Here we are. Here we are.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Well, we'll just call this a special edition of Paranormal Pride, the Haunted Vortex.
We'll call it whatever you want to call it. As long as everybody's having a good time, I'm
That's
having
right.
a time.
That's right.
Hey, and we are live on Facebook.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that.
God, that
It
was
took
so.
me forever the next day to find out exactly what happened or what.
Well,
they said.
I was on a podcast for somebody else, and we couldn't figure out why Facebook, like, it was everybody.
Yeah. What happened was somebody in Facebook was working and got into configurations and reset something and didn't tell nobody.
Did you see their stock today?
Oh, yeah, they're plummeted.
Well, they're going to keep plummeting because I don't think that's really what happened. I think they did it on purpose to do a test run.
They're not that.
To see how people would react.
I have a very interesting video article on my personal page, if y'all hadn't seen it yet, about Zuckerberg and the business side of it. It's pretty good.
Well, Zuckerberg should go away.
Scumbag.
Oh, yeah, I agree. He's a robot. He's one of those lizard people. What are they?
Well, maybe he is. You know,
He could be one of them.
I'm serious.
Because there's no way that anybody's walking around with that bad of a haircut on purpose.
And that doesn't ever blink.
No.
He never blinks.
That's
That's
true.
because if he blinks, you'll be able to tell when he's lying. Because his eyes will probably go.
That's so true. Hey, welcome. Welcome, everybody, to
Barbara's
Hey,
here.
welcome.
I hope
Oh,
everybody's
yeah,
having a great night.
There's people watching.
Barbara, Evelyn.
And you know what? I hope that none of you are out there that are watching and listening to us is working at the same time.
Yeah, because that's horrible.
It sucks. I just got done working, and when I'm done, I get to go back. So,
Oh, I'm right on trend with you, Denise. I'm working from home for the Supernatural Inc. LLC crap.
well, but at least you get to do it for stuff you like to do.
I'm working too.
Working on what are you working on?
Well, not looking too good right now. I played Virginia Tech and North Carolina State on a parlay with Louisiana and Southern Miss.
There you
Louisiana and Southern Miss, I played the under on the total points at 46.5.
go. Okay.
Score after the first quarter is 22-5.
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
See, this is what they did when they opened up gaming.
I didn't do much on it. Just fiddle around on the Thursdays.
At least we don't have to go to Iowa anymore to bet.
But
Well, there's that.
How many guests we got coming on tonight?
At least 3.
Oh, Athena's
Oh,
back.
hey, Athena.
Hi, Athena.
So
Hi,
here's
Athena.
what I'd like to say to everybody who's listening. If you have a story and you want to come on and tell us your story, I will send you a link and I will get it so that you can come on and tell us your story. And this will be about 9:00 tonight if you want to do it. So it's up to you, but keep that in mind. And Athena, I'm just so glad you're here. And you
got a story?
And you know me already, so it helps. But you never really got to see me much before. So even though Ken did try to do video a lot.
Now, where's Athena out of?
North Carolina.
Oh, really?
Hey, my people.
Yep. She just
Yeah, your people.
Yeah, she just
Hey.
moved from Las Vegas to North Carolina not that long ago.
Good move.
Oh, that's right.
That's a huge culture shock.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's a lawyer, so she can handle it.
Oh, okay, well.
And I know that move from our kid doing it from Vegas to Florida. You know, it's a beautiful move compared to desert.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Athena, just remember there's parts of those woods up there that you do not want to go in.
not by yourself.
No.
Especially. And be careful. Once the leaves fall, it's not so bad. But when the leaves are on the trees, just be aware there's moonshiners out there and they will hurt you.
Oh yeah.
Yo, they will kill you.
Yeah, and don't dig anything out of the ground because ginseng hunting is illegal.
And they'll shoot you over that too.
Yeah. So lots and lots of shooting going on out there.
But other than that, North Carolina's beautiful.
So would everybody like to introduce themselves if they don't know, so they at least know who you are? So we're going to start with you, Carl.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm known as the Wizard of Odd, but Carl's my name. From CC Paranormal team and the founder of the Billerites Network that produces shows where all these hosts down here all have shows on our networks. So, Rex, tell them about you.
Hi, I'm Rex. I have been on here for a while, and I love it. I'm a retired officer after 31 years. Now I do my art and my paranormal. And the name of my paranormal is All Out Paranormal. And a week from today will be my first show on the Billerites Network. I'm looking forward to that. It's called Discover the Paranormal with All Out Paranormal. And that's about it.
Okay, Brandon.
Well, first of all, I gotta. It just sounded like Rex sold himself short with that's just about it. He also has a great music, movies, and more show, and so let's not sell this man too short. He actually lets me on his show from time to time. It's scary.
You're going to be on again this weekend.
I will be. I'll be on there Saturday. It's gonna be fun. I am Brandon Cooper, host of Shaman Sundays here on the Billerites Network. Comes on every Sunday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. I am also part of Supernatural Inc. with KD Stafford and KT Stafford and my wife, and team member of Paranormal Task Force. If that's not enough, then y'all can add something because I'm super busy. But anyway, hey, thanks for everybody tuning in. I'm looking forward to some really cool stories.
Right. We would have had Chris Houston here. I don't think he's going to appear because he's sick.
Yeah.
So
he's doing better, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He said he was doing better. And so if nothing else, we can at least say a prayer for him tonight. Make sure he's getting well, and same as his wife. Just went through COVID, so feel bad for him. Hopefully he gets soon real fast. Right. And for those of you who don't know, I'm Denise Pridemore. This is Ron.
I'm Ron.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be Denise Pridemore.
That's right.
And you wouldn't have
cool
Paranormal Pride.
No, well, maybe I could. Because
it just funny side note, it actually hit me as I was laying down last night and got to sleep. That's why it's called Paranormal Pride.
Yep.
It's awesome.
It just hit you.
I mean, literally, I shot up in the bed. I looked at my wife and I'm like, because she's Pridemore. And
it has a double
wife said, yeah. Well, my wife said, shut up.
Oh, well, good for her. But
she probably looked at you and said, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, she's like, I was asleep.
So when I came up with the name of the show, I had watched The Lion King so many times with the kids, and a group of lions is called a pride.
Right.
So a group of people together is a pride. Right. So I figured, well, why not? And
our last name.
And plus, when I checked it out, guess what?
There's Susan and Mike.
It didn't.
Hello, and
nobody
Brody.
had that name.
And Brody.
So I was good. So here's.
I hope Katrina with you. I hope so.
Yeah, you better be.
Better be.
So,
I see them both.
My girls from Texas.
So we've got our first guest, and I think she's going to take a little bit longer because she's got some pictures and EVPs to share. So why don't we go ahead and bring?
Let's do this.
Bring Brody up.
Yeah. Hey everybody.
Hey, girls. Hey.
Denise, Ron, Carl.
Yeah.
Brandon.
How you doing? Look good.
Yeah. How are y'all doing? It's been a long time.
I know, too long.
Oh, look at the kitty. It's Black Cat Day.
Yes. Yeah,
It
this
is. It's Black Cat Day.
yeah,
Is it?
this is Kiki.
Yeah, she kept climbing up. She had to be on the show.
Oh, that's so cool. I have a black cat now too.
I saw that.
Yeah, 5 months ago, I adopted him from a shelter I volunteered at. I'm at a
Oh,
different.
good for you.
Yeah, it's so
I'm
really
a-
good. Anyway, Halloween time, huh? Paranormal stories.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought it would be a good change of pace, having kind of like a mini show, many times for guests to come on and tell their stories, because a lot of times when we have on the guest, it's one guest with a story, and this time we can hear everybody's. So
Yep.
let me go get your first picture.
Yeah. No, I thought that was a great idea when you said 8:15, 50-minute segments. I said, wouldn't that a wonderful idea? Have 1, 2, or 3 people, whatever, come on and tell about a paranormal. Carl's agreeing with me. Yeah, paranormal. How you doing, brother? It's been a long time.
Been a long, long time.
Yeah, you doing all right,
Oh yeah, doing real good.
Tammy?
Especially now since we started this network 2 years ago, we've been doing real great on shows over here.
What network is it?
I own the Bill of Rights network.
Oh,
That's where you're
you know
live
what?
on right now.
Oh, okay, all right. He froze. The truth is, my mom's kind of sick with Alzheimer's. I don't do much paranormal anymore, unfortunately. My outlet is animal welfare 1 day a week, but we have a nice little story tonight. I think it's interesting, and y'all will enjoy it. The experience we're going to share with you.
So
Yeah, I was going to ask if you two have been able to do any investigations lately.
Where was an event? Go ahead and say the one at the jail recently.
Yes, we just did an event in August, and we did an investigation. But we went to the cemetery just last
Yeah, but we
weekend.
investigated at Oglebaka County Jail. It was the second longest running consecutive jail in Texas. I volunteered with the girl there. It's where I had some of my first experiences. It's an awesome place. It's only 90 minutes outside of Houston. And she had an event where she does Katrina once a year. It's a fundraiser. People buy tickets and everyone gets a little reading. But then we also had like Leroy Kutzer there, people that know equipment, and we split into groups and everyone got to investigate. And that place is EVP heaven. I mean, I never go there without getting some kind of evidence, but Katrina's been investigating lately at a couple cemeteries, but nothing big lately.
Now, got some good stuff though in Galveston. So
we
we kind of like cemeteries ourselves.
Yeah.
and I love Galveston. There's
How
nothing
can you
about it
not?
I don't love.
Anything that's built on Syro, right? That's what that's where we run to.
Yeah, that big hurricane at the turn of the century, all the people that died, the orphanage kids and all, it just is a lot of spirits there. A lot of the pirates, John Lafitte was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you tell people that they had to raise the island 17 feet. And I still don't think it was enough. We were there once when they were having a tropical storm.
Yeah.
Right on the beach. So hotel was on the beach, not us personally. But we've been there during that, and that's kind of scary. And we were also, when we were there, some kid got attacked by a shark over on Bolivar Island.
Oh, wow. That's rare that we hear about it on the news.
That was in the beginning of 2000, somewhere around 2000, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would have been probably the last. Yeah, because it was
the last one.
Yeah, probably the last time we went, because Leah was a baby.
Yeah, it's definitely wow. Yeah, time flies so quick.
It does. It does. So yeah.
So, do you want to tell the story, or do you want me to share the picture, or both at the same time?
Well, probably put the picture up I would say.
Yeah,
that would be the first thing, because the experience we're going to share with y'all tonight. Oh, you still kind of see it through the screen.
I can point here. Let me point.
Yeah, if you pull it up, and if you could blow it up, you'll see the eyes and all the details.
It's behind the headstone.
It usually makes it smaller. The bigger I make it, it makes it smaller.
Oh, well, okay. Anyway, Katrina had showed me this picture. Now, I've known Katrina 8 years. So, and she had taken this before I knew her, but I was so fascinated with it because when you see it, you can tell it's a soldier from probably the 1800s. And I always said, one day I I want to get to that cemetery, but I want to tell her about the picture.
Well, as you can see, I'm in my van. You can see my the side view mirror. It's 2002.
Yeah.
I lost that camera. This is a duplicate. I need to make that so clear, especially with anyone that's in the paranormal. That is a duplicate, but it's real. And if you blow it up, you can see his eyelashes and everything. And I asked to take his picture. So, of course, I developed a relationship with him. So I went every year to see my mother, which is in LaPorte, Indiana. This is at the cemetery on A Street. And I just visit him every year. So Rhodey came in and wanted to make.
Yeah, about 6 years ago, I flew into Chicago. Katrina picked me up, and it was like 10 at night. And so when we got into Indiana, the first stop, Denise, had to be at the cemetery. I had to go, right? So, and it's a little bit cooler weather. Anyway, we're there, and we're, taking pictures and talking, and we're looking around. And I thought I heard something like footsteps or something, because it was just the two of us, this little town in Indiana, this cemetery. So Katrina, we weren't planning on investigating, shook her phone out. It was your phone, right?
Yeah.
And started recording. And it's only about a 12 or 15 second of that EVP, but she's saying Rhodey thought she heard something, and immediately we believe it's a growl, and then I'm saying a few things back, and at the end underneath me, there's another growl. And at the time we didn't know, then we keep, investigating a little, and then we go to the car to listen to what we recorded. And this was an EVP we picked up that night that you have, if you want to play it.
Sure. Let me go back to that.
I think it's a class A. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. I think it's gave me chill bumps in the car when I heard it.
Okay, this first one or the second one?
I only sent one. This first one I thought was attached to the text, and so I didn't know if you could download it. So
I tried to, and it wouldn't let me. But we have sound.
Okay, yeah.
Ignore what you see in the back, everybody.
Thought she heard something. Is there somebody coming to say hello? The recorder that we have in our hand is not stable and will just pick your voice.
Right there.
Yeah, underneath you barely hear that second one, but y'all hear that first one. Play that one more time. Would you, Denise? I'm
Yes.
sorry, I gotta hear it again.
Here goes.
Here's that.
Bobby thought she heard something. Is there somebody coming to say hello? The recorder that we have in our hand is not stable and will just pick your voice.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It
Katrina
doesn't stop there.
Yeah, Katrina says, do you want to say hello? Right after she says that, immediately, that's why I wanted you to play immediately. That's, yeah. And of course, we kept investigating and doing it. Well, we didn't really have tools, walking around, getting some pictures with our phone, that type thing. And then it was, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes later, we went into the car and we listened, and we heard that. So
That was at the cemetery?
at the cemetery. Mhm.
Wow. That's
He's got more. It goes further.
Oh, I'm
It's
so
really good.
sorry. An ambulance is going by. And
yeah.
I'm 14 floors up, but we got the door open. Hey, it's winter here in Texas. It's 70 degrees. It's cold, man. Woo. Anyway,
Shut up.
You're killing me.
yeah, it is. But okay, so I get out of the car then, and I'm like, "You want to growl? Come growl at me. Let me see you. Where are you? Where are you?" And then I say, "Oh, I know what that is. That's a welcome to Indiana, and thank you so much." And just that type thing. Now, Katrina's in the car, and y'all know Katrina, Denise, Ron, Carl. Y'all know her, right? Okay, so she's not afraid. Nothing. She knows what's going on. She's a true medium, one of the few. And she cracks the window of the car, and she says,
This much.
"This much." Like, if you tell what'd you say?
I go, I don't think he's from here. And I roll it back up. I think you need to get in the car. And I roll it back up, knowing that it doesn't make a difference. But at this particular time, it's startling me. She's thinking it's a welcome to Indiana. And I'm like, I don't know who the F that guy is. So Rhodey looks at me and she goes, okay. And she walks right over into the car. So she proceeds to say, he's not doing nothing, and he's not about nothing. He didn't. I told him to do something, he didn't. And I'm going, okay, whatever you say. So I get in the car. It's about 1 a.m, and I did state that I'm about 3 blocks from my mom's house, which has my sons. And we stopped at the first stop sign. And everybody, you take a look at your surroundings. You don't just look at the right or left. I always look in my rearview mirror too. And I saw him running after. I'm talking, it was so startling. I could see his skin flapping. It was so freaking crazy. I immediately just stopped right there.
You said, Rhodey. You said,
I go, Rhodey.
chasing us.
Yeah, and she turns back like she could see it.
I thought that's the person. I couldn't imagine she meant the growl guy.
Right.
And so she rolls down the window because I told her, I said, you are going to apologize, and she goes,
that's not. She didn't say that.
Well,
he came to your side. You wouldn't look him in the eye.
I would not look at him in the eye.
I've never seen her like that, Denise.
Side-eyed him. I wanted to give him respect because he clearly wasn't playing by the rules. And they don't have to, that's the key here, guys, and Brody called him out. And his thing is that he was invited, but on his terms. So I didn't want to bring him to my home. And he was icky. He smelled. He looked like he was from the early 1800s, a really bad gunslinger. He had the long leather coat on. And I said, Brody is right there on your side. And she puts her head all in him. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. He asked for a cigarette. So Brody gave him one. Of course, it didn't go in and float in the air or nothing, guys. We're not claiming it did.
But I did. I offered it as a way of apologizing. I was still smoking cigarettes in. And she said he took it. And what did he accept as my apology, right?
He accepted as an apology. So it was that was a crazy evening.
And we were able then just to go drive the next 2 blocks to Katrina's mom without him following. And Denise and Carl, y'all know Katrina. People that don't know her might think, oh, that's some BS, that part of it. No, ma'am, it is not. And so that was one of the most experiences I probably never forget. And even though it wasn't planned to go investigate or anything, that's the only growl I have ever caught in the 12 years I've been doing paranormal. I never have caught a growl before. And that's a mother of one, I think. What do y'all think?
Thing sounded pissed.
Yeah.
She still thinks that it was a welcome to Indiana, guys.
No, I will tell you, every time I've gone into Indiana, I felt like this was a place I could live.
That may have been a stay out of our graveyard.
I mean, unless you're really close to Beach Grove. I mean, Beach Grove doesn't seem like a happy-go-lucky kind of place, to tell you the truth. And neither does New Albany.
You have to watch On Patrol for that one.
LaPorte is the oldest county in Indiana. It also has the railroad, the Underground Railroad went through there. Now, this guy was not. That's why I told her to come in the car. He was not buried in that cemetery. He was a straggler. So that was another reason why when they don't follow the rules, that means that you could be in danger. And that's why I asked her to come in the car.
So how would spirits know what the rules are? Is there a handbook to the dead?
Yeah.
Well, in Beetlejuice there was.
I think it's morals,
Yeah, morals. Yeah, it could be morals. Yeah.
Yeah, because they can all watch you while you're taking a shower. It's the ones that just, no, that's privacy. I'm just stating it. I mean, spirit isn't bound.
Yeah, I don't know. If they didn't have any morals when they're alive, they probably
That's
don't.
exactly what I'm saying too. Yes.
That's what I've heard people say, and pardon my language, I won't say it, but I've heard a lot of more experienced investigators than I say, if someone was an a-hole in life, they're probably an a-hole in death. He's not in death.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to be an asshole when I'm dead. I didn't get to be one while I was alive.
Yeah, so have some fun afterwards. Yeah.
I'm going to treat everybody. I'm going to make sure I haunt everybody. So be prepared.
Wait, I'll be hearing this noise. And it'll be Denise. I'm just kidding.
No, actually, it won't be. It would be the burping. Everybody
Yeah.
knows Denise burps.
Yeah,
like
yep.
Yeah.
See, I would be the ghost that would like flush the toilet when you're in the shower or something. That's what I would do.
Oh, that's a bad
No,
one. But what
Denise
about-
is going to be the one that comes back and tells all the other paranormal people, "You're not doing it right."
Yep.
that, and stop doing the flashlight trick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why it says
She'll
trick.
knock. Yeah, when you start to do the flashlight trick, she's gonna knock that sucker right
Yeah,
off.
she's going to be the one. You got a flashlight out. She's going to knock it all the way across the room. And go,
Wow, you
"Don't
see
do it
that?
again."
Now that's a trick.
See, I always have a question for the TV shows that always pisses me off. Why? I mean, in Baltimore, they'd say, "Why come?" Okay, why come the lights when they come on? Why is that a yes? Why isn't it a no? I didn't hear them say, "Make it light up for a yes." So how do you know for sure it's not a no? You know,
That's great.
So
Yeah.
if they're not saying, "Hey, come to make this light up," if the answer is yes.
And how do you know the battery's not charging up and then it discharges?
No, I mean this is on anything.
Right.
They always assume that when something lights up, it's a positive answer.
Mhm.
Whatever
That's
the positive
true.
answer is, if the answer is yes,
Yeah, the REM pods.
all that stuff, it's always yes.
Yep.
And it's like, are you sure?
That's right.
Because I don't always feel like it's a yes when I'm watching the shows. I always have a feeling what the answer is. I know Katrina does. She knows what the real answer is.
Sometimes I don't care.
Yeah, I know, me either.
It's just entertaining.
So just so you know, here's how I watch the shows. I'm sitting here facing my computer. The TV's right here behind me. That's where the TV is when we're watching the shows. I'm listening to the show, not watching, because I get so pissed off.
I know.
It's don't watch these shows with Denise because I get angry at them. But
she narrates everything.
Yeah,
I always know what's going to happen before it happens.
I can't take her to a movie. We can't watch TV with her.
So
she'll start narrating and it's horrible.
Try being in the other room and you'd be like, "Are you talking to me?"
Yeah.
That's what
he's not talking to me, but I have to ask.
When
Hey,
I'm
Denise.
talking, I talk to myself, and he asked me, "Are you talking to me?" I was like, "No, I'm talking to myself."
And I'm like, okay. She'll have
You
a
wanted to
full
talk to the smartest
conversation.
person in the room, Denise. Right?
Yep. So
Yeah.
you know what?
We're have a conversation with herself.
We're
Okay.
almost done with your time.
All right.
Where can everybody
Well, thank
find you
you.
guys? No, where can
Yeah.
everybody find you guys? Promote yourself.
Katrina Spiritual Medium. You can find me on that. We have
Facebook, Instagram,
Instagram, and YouTube, and events coming. Brody's over the narrating. I should have let her say it. You guys hear? I'm working with the Kling brothers. Yes, I love those
December
guys.
5th.
Yeah, they're great.
I'm gonna let her finish. She's over there with
December 5th at
December 5th.
Old County Jail.
Actually, it's December 10th.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
But November 5th, I am also doing a night of magic and doing some readings. Not gallery style or anything. There's going to be other vendors and stuff like that. So, and then I'll be in San Antonio the next weekend and doing gallery and personal readings. So,
November 5th is here in Houston. I mean, I know, but if it's by chance someone gets down here, we'll go. I'll go with y'all. We'll go check Katrina out. So,
Well, like I said, we're working on it. I'm waiting. I
invited you when I met you to come on down. The invitation still stands.
I know it does, and I'm still planning on coming at some point. I just got to get past the stuff that's going on with me.
Sure. Yeah, and your health. Yeah, I keep you in my thoughts. I hope you know that, even though I'm not on Facebook much anymore. We talk about you, but we keep you.
Guess what? This works both ways. I can call you.
There you go. That's right. And I love video calls. I'm not much of talking. I'll text, but I will video call, Facebook Messenger. There's many ways to do it. So I enjoy that because it's like you're in the same room with them. I know I'm talking. Okay.
No, I got a question.
Okay.
The gentleman over there that's got the
Rex.
is that Rex that has
Yeah.
the N?
Yeah.
Here's a gentleman that is connected to the higher guitar, the one that's higher up. It just feels like it has the connection of making it and how you're giving its legacy. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. And he's so like ecstatic of the work that you're doing. So I'm sorry, Rex.
Well, that's quite all right.
Well, I know I am, but I'm sorry.
Yes.
Do you know which guitar she's talking about, Rex?
And does she know who owns
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now wait until you hear a story here.
Yeah.
We'll be right with you, Scott.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
We'll watch.
You know the
I
group
have you on
Queen.
my phone, so
Now listen, folks.
Yep. Listen.
you know the group Queen.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Brian May, the guitarist. Him and his father built it when he was younger. And,
Yeah.
he's still, when you see him play, this is the only thing he plays.
I just want to
Oh
let
my
you know
God.
that
Yeah.
I need to come and
Said
visit
legacy.
you.
That was funny. I knew
Oh
it.
my God.
Yes, I just want to let you know that there's a lot of pride there, lots of thank yous. I know that you clean it up, and he said that he knows that you're trying to keep it genuine. And I feel like you had just tuned it up like recently in the month.
No, I did a different one, but not this one.
Okay, I saw a
I-
tune up, so I just want to let you know I saw something in a tune up.
What an awesome guitar. Wow, that is something that you have there in your hand, Rex.
Yeah.
That is something. Wow.
Here.
You get that musical stuff from your grandpa, but we were here just to talk
Yeah.
about other stuff. Thanks a lot.
Well,
There's
thank you
more.
guys so much. We appreciate you coming on. And you guys go out there and check out Katrina Cooper, Spiritual Medium, on Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere else you have social media at. I guarantee you'll find her one way or another.
Thank you.
Right.
And
Yes.
especially if you're meant to. And when you think of Rhodey, think of saving those animals, because that's her
Yeah,
favorite.
that's right.
Yeah.
So rewarding. Denise, love you. Thank you so much for thinking
We
of
love
it.
you
This was
guys.
fun.
Yeah.
Love you.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
for coming
you.
Stay
on.
in touch
Thanks,
with
guys.
us, Rhodey and
Bye,
Katrina.
Rex.
Yep. Keep in
Stay in
touch.
touch.
Bye, guys.
My
Bye.
God.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Here, let's.
Oh,
It's okay. Our next guest is Scott Johnston out of Iowa. And he's going to
Hello,
share
Scott.
something with us today.
Hey,
Scott,
Scott.
Hello, Brandon.
I'd
Hey,
like to
Scott.
introduce
Hello,
you
everybody.
to- This is Ron, my husband,
Hello, Ron.
How you doing?
my other half.
Doing well.
And then up above you is Carl and Rex Nielsen. You may know
Howdy,
Rex.
Carl. Howdy, Rex.
And next to
Hi.
you is Brandon Cooper. And Rex is in Iowa as well.
In the breeze.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So,
Well, there you
Awesome.
are. Get up there.
so what do you want? What's kind of story do you want to tell us tonight of your true haunting story?
Well, if I understood you right, Denise, can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
we can
yeah.
hear you.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Okay,
we're-
because
yeah,
I was
we-
having some potential microphone issues before. I just want to make sure they're cleared up. Yeah, if I understood you right, Denise, you just kind of wanted to hear a description of maybe a real-time experience that I had.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and there were, I can't say it's, everybody in this field has had quite a different array of experiences, and some of the ones I've heard other people have just blow my mind. And not that I don't believe them, but they're just like, are you kidding me? Things I would love, because I would love to have what most people would say are the scariest and the drive you out of the building. That's what I would love to have. But sadly, even over the 10 years of my investing, maybe not sadly, maybe it's a good thing, but over the decade or so I've been doing it at all residentials, businesses, active haunts all over the Midwest. I haven't had that many just blood curdling things happen to me, but I have had a few real-time experiences that I think are things that people find it at least entertaining. And to me, they were really invigorating. So I picked one out of 10 or 11 that maybe I could have picked from. And this was not the one I really thought about sharing tonight. The number one I was going to share was Edinburgh Manor Rex, whoever's from Iowa, was it you, Rex, from
Rex.
Iowa?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Edinburgh Manor? It's
Oh,
your
yeah.
Anamosa. Okay, yeah, I figured you probably had. I had a great
My
experience
son
there.
and I have spent about 300 hours in it.
Oh, hell yeah, there you go. Okay, well, you got me by about 70%. But I've spent a lot of time there too. I had a great experience. Heard somebody walking up the stairs toward me during a solo overnight there. But this one just popped in my head as I was driving down the road thinking of what I wanted to talk about tonight, Denise. And it was at a residential in Rhinebeck, Iowa. Very interesting case. Well, they're all interesting, but this one was particularly so. It was the crux of it was a shadow figure, not a typical shadow figure, shadow entity that a child was seeing in the home that nobody else was seeing. Not even the mom. It was just the mom and the kid living there. And, of course, she was skeptical when he said, "Mom, I'm seeing this shadow thing." He drew it, man alive. When she handed me in the initial in-home interview, she handed me this picture. I wish I had it up to put up here, but I don't. It was just ridiculous. It didn't look like something that the kid was crafting to try to look scary. It was just something that you could see he was being genuine in this. I looked at it and I thought this is just crazy. So we went ahead, did the investigation myself. Another investigator, Kelly, was with me, Kelly Fowler, and we had some great real-time experiences that night with not just empathic experiences where we absolutely felt not just emotionally, but some physical touches, things like that. I won't say run of the mill because none of this stuff is run of the mill in everyday life. But anyway, to fast forward, Kelly, I'm an empath. I finally have admitted it. People have told me I was. I fought it because I don't really want to put myself out there as that guy with all these abilities. But Kelly is an empath on steroids compared to me. I feel the emotions of spirits now. I've come to realize that, verified through EVP. I didn't believe it, but there it is. She is 20 times worse than me. And during this entire investigation, this poor girl was being followed and harassed, and she's got anxiety anyway, by the main character there. We figured out, and I'm forwarding past all of the audio review. From that review, we figured out that the main character there was a guy, I call him the sad guy. He expressed over and over he was sad, and we believe he's the shadow figure. So anyway, Kelly leaves about 2:00 in the morning, which for me is early. And she had about an hour drive home. And I said, yeah, go home, be safe. And she's driving by herself. So she took off. And so I went downstairs right after she left, which was kind of the hotbed. There was a cubby hole area near the back with a detachable wooden door that when we took it off earlier, we both felt just this, I feel it now, just in here. Just this rush of energy, really powerful stuff. So I went down there because I'm that person that just wants all those experiences. So I'm down there with my digital voice recorder and nothing else really fancy in terms of equipment. And I'm doing some EVP sessions. She had left, as I said. There were a couple cats in the home, to be transparent, but what happened next was not cats. I was down there in the basement where the furnace was, because typically you might think what I'm about to describe was maybe a really loud furnace noise or something. Sorry, my laptop is shaking because it's actually on my lap. But I'm doing the session, and all of a sudden from upstairs, I hear these loud bangs. I mean, we all know the type of sounds that we, as debunkers, we all like to try to figure stuff out and say, no way, no. Even though I know doing what I do, even though I know experiencing what I've experienced and found in audio, the phenomena in general is legit. I'm always just going, okay, what caused that? Bang, bang, like just it had a cadence to it though, which at the time I thought was really bizarre and will make sense in a bit. It was just like bang. Bang, 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 bang. And I'm like, okay, that's either a 700-pound cat or it pushed over a chest of drawers. And of course, I went from going, whoo, what the hell is this? To going, yeah, this is awesome. And So I immediately said to myself,
Yeah.
you know, I got to go upstairs. I got to go up there. Little trepidation, because you don't know if when I'm on investigations, I'm by myself. I'm more afraid of humans breaking into the damn place. My first thought was, did somebody break in? And I better be on my guard. It was that loud. So I go up there. There's nothing out of place. I looked for anything. Cats might have knocked over, although I knew the sound I heard was not a vase being knocked over. Nothing. Not a piece of paper was moved. So I go home. I do embark in the hours and hours of audio review. When I get to that moment in the audio review, not surprised, I hear it picked up on my recorder. One of the cheap but really good EVP recorders with the internal hiss, whatever, but you could still hear the bang, bang, the bang, bang, bang. And I thought, wow, okay, that's great. I got it. Cool enough, right? Great audio event. I can play for the client. I can play for Kelly and say, holy crap. But then I started listening to it, stripping out just a little bit of the background noise. I didn't want to filter it to get it to warble. You never want to do that. Just a little bit of noise. And I started to hear some inflections in these individual bangs. And when I start hearing inflections, I'm thinking voice. Yeah, you can get fooled. There's voice matrixing, things furnaces do, et cetera, et cetera. But there were cadences and inflections in here. Pardon me. And when all was said and done, when I finished gently cleaning this audio, I realized to my giddiness that this was what I thought were bangs, was a loud, screaming, yelling voice of somebody who was very, very pissed off. And I guess because Kelly and I were there, maybe there was somebody there who was trying to keep sad guy from giving his story. I don't know. But this voice was, and I'm paraphrasing slightly because I don't have the audio right in front of me, but it was something to the effect of, this needs to stop. Now get the F out. It was like, this needs to stop. Now get the F out.
Wow.
And I mean, it was loud enough that I misinterpreted it in real time as a physical event. This was somebody, I don't know how this type of volume and depth in a voice manifests in real time that you can hear it. But it's the first time that's ever happened to me. I was blown away. So that's it. The real-time event was cool enough. But when I go back and pair it with what I found in audio actually caused it. I played it for the client. I don't think she really got it. She didn't really understand it. I was going, listen to this. And anyway, to this day, that's one that really, really gets my juices going.
Well, I don't think she got how rare that is. Maybe it's happening in her home all the time. So to her, it's just common, but it's very
That's
rare.
a great point, Denise. That's a great point. Maybe this is something she had experienced regularly. And if so, surprisingly, she didn't mention that during the long initial interview that we had.
Well, you know how that goes, because when it feels normal to you, you don't bring it up.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. That's exactly right. So yeah, I'm the good news is there wasn't anything particularly dark or negative that could really harm her there. We determined that's just our determination based on the investigation. My audio review, our empathic results, also our medium walked the home. We really trust our medium. And she felt the same way. But that spirit that produced that event was very, very strong and very, very mad. And surprisingly, it was the only strong negative type of thing audio wise that we found in the course of all the review. I think that person knew why I was there, knew that I wanted to try to get to some answers that maybe they didn't want revealed, and wanted me to get the hell out of there. Yeah. And thought that by screaming at me, it could get me to run. So, yeah.
Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe because she hadn't really been paying attention to what he was saying, he was screaming because he thought nobody could hear him.
That's another really good point. Maybe he'd been trying to communicate through her and her son, and wasn't getting through. It's just one of those things that when when you really look into it regarding this field, I think a lot of people who aren't into this field, who haven't put their foot into the water to test it, to try it, to see, to do like I did 10 years ago, watching these shows thinking, I wonder if this stuff is legit. I don't know. I'm just going to get a recorder. Let's see what happens. And now I found out, are you kidding me? Oh my God, this is real.
Right.
Oh yeah.
People that, yeah. And people who haven't done that, to them, they hear something like this and it's absolutely, like, for the first time, it's life-changing. For me, yeah, it's life-changing, but it's a culmination, step after step, event after event, EVP after EVP, case conclusion after case conclusion. You have to pinch yourself, and at the same time, remind yourself not to get blasé about this, not to take it for granted. This is an incredible field that we're in. And we have to have so much respect for those on the other side that do these things. I could go on and on.
Oh yeah.
Well, Scott, do you still have a show?
Well, thank you for asking. You might know, I don't know how much I shared with you, but within the last year, I've had a couple losses. My mother passed away last November. I was caregiver for her, full-time caregiver for her.
Yeah, I remember that because you told me that. I think it's when I was right before I was on your show.
Yeah,
you told me that.
Okay, yeah. And then my dad, just in May, had a ruptured aortic aneurysm. If you know what that is, it's usually fatal at any age. He's 89. Well, he's home now, incredibly, after a few months in rehab. He's home here, getting around, but he needs a lot of help. So I'm doing caregiving for him. But to your point, I had kind of written off resuming the paranormal world for a while just because I wasn't sure I could commit to the time. But he's getting so much stronger now, unbelievably, and my time is being freed up. Yeah, and so I think, Denise, very shortly I'm going to be resuming that show.
Well, when you do, let me know, and we'll make sure that we tell people that you're back. As long as it doesn't interfere with my show or
yeah, exactly. Well, I know one time when I just started the show, I was going to ask you to be a guest, and our shows were airing at the same time.
Right.
Well, see, I can always tell people about your show and just say, as long as you guys are catching it in repeat, I'm happy.
Yes. And sometime if we can work it out, I'd love to have you be a guest on there. So but yes, I am going to resume it.
We can always work that out. Anything for
awesome.
You.
So, fantastic.
But thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. And we'll keep your father in our prayers that he continues to recover. And we'll keep you in our prayers because being a caregiver is sometimes harder than the one getting the care.
Wow, you're so right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And hope you'll come back and join us sometime here on the Bill of Rights Network.
We'd love to investigate with you sometime. Lots of good stuff up in Iowa.
Yeah, who just said that? Was that
was me?
Oh, okay. I'm looking over everybody but you. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome, Ron. Sure.
It's just the way the computer is, it's crooked.
Bring in Rex too.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great to meet you guys. Are you guys have your own paranormal teams and all that, I assume?
Oh yeah.
Carl, who are you with?
I'm the founder of CC Paranormal Team here in Gallatin, Missouri.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm just like an hour and a half from the border of Iowa. Not even that far, really.
Sweet.
And I'm also the founder of this network.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That we're on.
And see, and Ron and I are independent paranormal investigators, and we investigate with we've investigated with everybody but Rex here.
Yeah.
And me.
Yeah, well, and I mean you too, but
yeah.
I mean, we Rex, investigate with anybody. We're paranormal whores.
By the way, that's a great band name. I got to remember that.
That's gonna be my new band name.
There you go. Do you mind if I just ask Rex and Brandon who they're with? I don't want to hijack I'm not trying to host you here. Rex, who are you with?
All Up Paranormal started about 12 years ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
With my boys. Right now I'm the only member in it, but I got some big news coming down. And I can't wait. But yeah.
Awesome. How about you, Brandon?
I am with Supernatural Inc. With KD Stafford. and I'm with Paranormal Task Force out of the Midwest.
Oh, cool. This is great. I've not had a chance to reach out and network and meet as many other people in this field as I've wanted to. It's just been a whirlwind. So it's really great to meet all you guys. Thanks for these.
It's a pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we might,
Anytime.
Absolutely.
be doing something special later on. I've got some other ideas to get the network out there and do some more of this networking stuff. So I'll let you know when we do that.
Fantastic. I'd love it, Denise.
But thank you so much. We've got our next person.
Thanks,
our
Scott.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Scott.
guys.
next
Thanks,
victim.
Scott.
Thank you.
Nice
Get
to
back
meet
with you.
Okay, Scott. We'll talk to you later.
Awesome.
Bring up the next victim.
That's right. Bring out your bed.
Bring out the
Bring, I feel happy. Oh, hi. Hi, Wendy.
There's Wendy.
Hi.
Hi,
Well,
Wendy.
Since we've
Can you
seen
hear me?
Yes,
Oh,
we hear you.
Okay.
just
Okay.
fine.
Good. It wasn't. My mic wasn't showing up, and I hadn't used this platform before, so I went. Well, we'll hope for the best.
Well, we can hear you, and we can definitely hear that hat.
That's right.
hmm
Loving the hat.
It's Halloween.
So Wendy she's a show host on another network, and she's been on hiatus for a little while. And I met her in person on at the Sally House, but
Mhm.
I've also been on her show many, many times in a venue just like this, where we were asked to come on and give our scary stories. So she was the inspiration for tonight's event. And not only that, I've been on her show. I don't know how many times. I don't know how many times I've been on your show, but we have a good time, and that's all that matters. And
That's right.
her show is really different. She has a fast-fingered guy that does some research while you're talking to keep you on your toes.
My technomancer. Yes.
So and he's hilarious too.
Yes, he is. Jake's great.
So, Wendy, you want to tell everybody a little about yourself besides what I told him?
Well, let's see. I do some pet/house sitting. And if the little Scotties back here go off, I apologize in advance. You know how they get. See a squirrel, hear a squirrel. Oh, good Lord Almighty.
That's how I get.
I've kind of backed away from doing the show very much. It just, all of the prep work and everything, due to health reasons, it was overwhelming. So we've just been kind of picking and choosing, and I might come back for a couple of shows because I've got a couple of guests lined up. They were previous guests and all. So, and you never know, it might go full time again. Energy's better with the weather a lot cooler than it was.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Other than that,
good. I'm glad to hear it. And the dogs are keeping you busy, and because you're a big rescue for German Shepherds, weren't you?
I used to be anyway. Yes.
Yeah, I seem to recall that at one point, and you've got an interesting paranormal history.
I do.
So you want to share any of that before you tell us your scary story?
It all kind of ties into the scary story, I guess, maybe. But
Okay.
I mean, like the first one that I can clearly remember was a time probably back in the late 70s or early 80s. I was visiting a cousin of mine, and she's a little bit younger than I am, but we were real good friends, and we hung out all the time. And we decided, and you know how these decisions get made. They're not always the wisest, but they're the most fun at the time. But we decided to go check out a house that was, you could call it next door, but it was down a little ways from her house, and it was wooded in the back areas and everything. And this house had gone up for sale multiple times. And basically the owners would just up and be gone all of a sudden. And the house was up for sale then. And we decided to go down and see what the big do was. Well, okay. So Michelle went in through the doggy door. I had kind of sprouted boobs and had a curvy butt, so she fit and went in, and she
Good Lord.
like I said, she was a little bit younger, so she hadn't blossomed yet. But anyway, she went in through the doggy door, opened the kitchen door for me, and we went in. We had some, I believe it was Taco Bell, and we were gonna chow. And after we checked out the house, we went tiptoeing around the house. It was pretty bright in there, even though it was kind of starting to get on towards sunset. There weren't any curtains on the windows or anything. Plenty of just ambient light there. So we checked out the house. Didn't feel anything. Didn't get scared. Decided to have our little impromptu picnic, and it wasn't quite an old shotgun house, but you could basically see the doors and the front door from the back door, and it had neat little alcoves and woodwork and all of the, I don't know, what was standard from probably a 30s type house. Anyway, we were sitting on the floor in front of it was a hard bench seat with a table over it and the windows around it. Sorry, I talk with my hands too, Denise. Anyway, we were there. We had eaten. We were just shooting the BS and probably gossiping about boys or something. And all of a sudden, kind of like mid-sentence, I went kind of blind. It was like somebody had put a black sheet over my head and I could not see squat. At that same moment, my cousin screams. She has a very high-pitched scream, good loud voice. And I'm groping around because I don't know what's going on. And I'm almost on, freak out, but not quite. I was still grounded. I was still sitting on the floor. But did that for a couple, it seemed like about 5 or 6 hours, but it was probably 30 seconds. Cousin grabs my hands, says, "I got you, Wendy," pulls me up, drags me outside. And, like I said, it seemed like it went on forever and I'm still not seeing much, but then things started clearing and I got vision back, and it was weird. And my cousin's standing in front of me with my hands still in her hands. And, I look at her and she's just trembling to beat all. A big old shiver went through me, like from the tips of my toes to the top of my head, like you see a horse do sometimes, when they're fighting off the flies and the dust and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at Michelle and I say, "Why'd you scream?" And she goes, "Wendy, right about the time you started kind of groping around, we were talking, something, it looked like the shape of a little girl, but it was all black, and it was kind of see-through too." And I went, "Okay, oh boy." And she goes, "And it went up over you and draped itself over you." And, I'm going, okay. Now we call it a shadow person, probably, shadow entity, however. And, well, we hightailed it home. We never spoke of it because, back then you just didn't speak of such things, and slept with all the lights on. Her parents had been out for the evening. So, yeah.
How many days did you sleep with the lights on?
Still do.
Yeah.
To this day, yeah.
So how high is your electric bill?
No, I mean, it took a little while. It was a couple of days, but being me, I calmed down pretty good after it. Just still occasionally get that little bit of a spook sensation, and never, well, until years later when we went to that old the old women's asylum that was over behind Chief Stadium. It's not there anymore. Another other cousin, his brilliant idea. That was creepy, although I didn't really sense anything. It was just the shakes had me. But anyway, but like we didn't talk about it, and I just barely remembered it. So I talked to my cousin when you had approached me about the show, because I was going, there's something I'm just not quite remembering. So I'm going to say that my mind shoved it way into the back so that it didn't hurt the my conscious thoughts.
Okay.
That was Ben.
That was
Yep.
good. sound effect.
That was perfect.
Oh,
Yes, it was.
you hear that, Evie?
Yeah.
hmm
Well,
But that,
you know
that
what?
was
But you did very good because you debunked it already. So nobody's, anybody goes, "Did you hear that growl?" We got that.
Yeah, did you? Did you hear it?
yes, I did. Oh
No,
my
Brandon
god!
did.
Oh, I saw that she heard it because she.
I was looking
Yeah.
at Brandon when I heard
It's
that.
probably a
Yeah, I
demon
was
behind me.
I was just sitting here listening away, and I was like, "Wait a minute, wait a
Whoa.
minute."
Bigfoot isn't behind you there, Brandon.
I mean, I don't even know what's in this room, but there's all kind of knocking in here tonight. So I was like, "Wait a minute, is that in my earphones or is that here?"
I hate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that was a very good story, and it'll make you think. How what are we doing out there? But
Mhm.
yeah, I think that woman's asylum was still there in the 80s when we moved.
I think it was probably the mid 80s when we went on our little trip, but Michelle's house was over in Ruskin area.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
where
yeah,
that's where we
we
lived. We lived in
Oh.
Hickman Mills.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yep.
about 86 we moved over there, and so Raytown Road was always almost every place we went was Raytown Road or Blue Ridge,
Mhm, mhm.
Bannister, and because we lived,
Screen's getting light or dirt.
and I can't do nothing about
Okay.
that. So, but yeah, the everything we did was, hey, we got to go to Bannister Mall because we lived by Bannister and Blue Ridge.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
And and it's strange, now when you
I
drive
never
by
said
there,
that.
it's just strange seeing it like it is now.
I never said I had to go to any mall.
No.
No.
Not willingly.
Hey,
No.
I remember Annie Santa Fe.
Oh yes, definitely.
I only ate there twice, but it was some of the best Mexican food you could get back
Yep.
in the 80s.
Oh yeah, Annie Santa Fe. Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
I remember.
Mhm.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Michelle's mom always took us there, when I stayed over and what have you. It was a lot of fun there.
Yeah, well,
Great food.
well, back in the 80s when Ron took me to one of the family reunions, everybody goes, "Well, where do you guys live in Kansas City?" And we'd say, "By Bannister Mall," and everybody goes, "We know where that is." and it didn't matter where they lived; they all knew where Bannister Mall was because
yeah.
it was a
Mhm.
shopping destination for people back
Try
then.
finding it
Yes, it
now.
was.
Yeah, and now it's a ghost of its former self.
Yes, it is.
Right. Yeah. Ghost town, more like. Hmm.
So,
But that house is no longer there. Just like Grandma and Grandpa's place, the old Burbelia quarter horse and cattle ranch out there.
Yeah.
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
That was my grandpa. Well, Grandpa managed the farm.
Well, needless to say, I drove by that all the time going to
Well, I
Longview.
remember you saying that.
Because
on your
yeah, it's completely gone. The
Yeah.
old barn, the old house, everything. It just makes me
Yeah.
sad.
yeah, it's just a
But,
subdivision now, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
So when I went to Longview Community College, we were in charge of cleaning the road there.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I would go down there, and the only other Lula that I know that wasn't my grandmother down there at at the Longview Farm.
I think April's
Mhm.
taking the edge off.
So
Mhm.
and that place
Right.
she's shaking her head.
Little
Hey,
horse
7 points, we know.
racing, a little. Yep.
There you go.
Well, Wendy, when your show comes, what is the name of your show?
Mystic Moon Cafe.
And when does it normally come on?
It seems like we were on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock our time till 10 or 11, whatever, depending on the guests and the subjects and everything.
Depending upon how much I talked.
Pretty much, yep. Someone you had to drag answers out of that didn't always last very long. But
No.
you, Denise, we would usually go overtime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we get a lot of questions and stuff. And didn't you also have your show on Sunday nights sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah.
So,
And like I'm looking at a guy over in England to come back on the show, and cryptozoologist guy, and so it might be another Sunday type event because of the time difference and all, or pre-recorded. You never know.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
tell them we want some evidence. Good evidence.
Yeah, I want some shit.
I want some hard facts.
See?
That's right. I want clear pictures, not fuzzy, mister.
Yep.
Well, like I said, you bring me something solid, even if it's a pile of poo. At least it's something. So
I don't know how solid.
I do
that
have
would be.
one more story that I was going to tell.
go ahead. You got a little bit more time. We have one more guest, but
Right.
she's
Okay.
she'll wait.
Not done drinking yet.
Raise a glass.
Got a little left.
Raise a glass.
She's getting liquid courage right now.
Well, this one, I do a lot of pet sitting, and I would go and take care of a nighttime nurse's new German Shepherd puppy up in a 125-year-old house not far from the Liberty, Missouri Square. And now the first time I walked in there, and little Coda was just like 12 weeks old, maybe, just cuter than a bug. And I go in, and I just kind of felt the hairs raise on my neck a little bit. And I'm looking around thinking, it feels like somebody's watching me. Somebody's looking at me. It wasn't a scary feeling. It was just that a little bit creep feeling. And then it went away. It felt like somebody was just checking in to make sure I was okay, taking care of the little puppy. And then apparently I passed muster, and it was all okay. Well, okay. Fast forward about 6 months, and I'm staying overnight again. And when I go in, I always make sure that like closet doors are shut, and nice expensive shoes and what have you don't become chew toys.
Mm-hmm.
Went in, had all the doors shut, all the closets shut, and Coda and I were playing after being outside for quite a while, and we went inside, and all of a sudden I hear the sound of the screech of very old hinges, and the sound of a door dragging open. And about that same time, Coda, he was going to be a big dog. He was a good sized pup at that point. Hair comes up on his back. He is growling and barking at something in his mama's bedroom. So I screwed up my courage, whatever it was. And I look around the corner, and the door's standing wide open, and he's barking at something that I certainly cannot see. Well, all right then. Got him kind of calmed down. Went and shut the closet door again, and it was a heavy door, and it fit solid. It didn't rattle shut or open, and it didn't drift because of the carpet. It didn't just, come open on its own. It didn't happen again, but when I asked his mom about it, she didn't want to talk about it, didn't want me to say a word, and so that was it. It wasn't long after that she moved on, I think out west. So I miss the dog.
Well, you are a dog person, so
yes.
In fact, you'll probably remember the dog's name long after you forget her name.
Yeah.
What was her name again?
Yeah. Animals sense things that we just don't see or hear.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that 110%.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're just airheaded and they just stare at stuff. You know,
That's
sometimes
true. Yes.
not
The
always
kitty cats do that more. Yeah.
yeah, it's not always that they see something. They're just bored and they're trying to make you do something. They figure if they
Trying to make
stare
you-
long enough, you're going to get up.
Mhm, mhm.
It's true. Carl,
Yes.
is it true? If your dog stares long enough, you get up and go, I don't know what he
What are you
wants.
looking
but
at?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
stares at me long enough. I go, okay, go
Time
to
you-
the door. I'll let you out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
That's what happened.
Yep.
Leah's
Mhm.
dogs don't sit still long enough to stare at anything.
Yeah.
Except my
Okay.
shoes. They think my shoes are the best thing in the ever to lick. It's like I need to step in something stinky maybe sometime.
Mhm.
Well, Wendy, thank you so much for coming on. And
Well, thank you for asking me.
anytime you'd like to visit with us, let us know and we'll
Okay.
get you on.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Thank you so much.
Well,
Yep.
thank you.
Let us know when you
and
get your show
Thank
back.
you.
definitely let
Okay.
us know when your show comes back and we'll advertise it or
Right.
share it or whatever you want.
I appreciate that. Thank y'all.
You're
No
welcome. Thank
problem.
you so
Well,
much.
and if you come out, if you have an extra, I am also a paranormal whore. I freelance on those. So I don't know. Give me a holler if you need an extra hand or whatever, and it'd be fun.
Yeah, we're kind of the more the merrier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even if it's a place where you can't put that many people in, we
Right.
still have a tendency to overbook.
I kind of did that at Waverly this last summer. So yeah, I understand. It kind of became a party.
Yeah.
It does. And you know what? The spirits like the party too.
Sorry?
Yes.
The,
Yes,
the
they do.
spirits like the party, you know?
Yes, they
And
do.
they start talking more.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because they
Mhm.
want to be involved. So,
They didn't really that night because it was still 108 degrees at 2:00 in the morning.
They melted.
And yeah, that was nasty.
Must have
That was
been-
the scariest part of it for me that time.
It must have been August.
Oh, Waverly, yeah.
It was actually June.
Really? Because I know
Yeah.
that they got hot in Kentucky early this year, but I couldn't remember how
Yeah.
early. But I know
Yeah.
that August is always hot there, and the humidity in Louisville
Yeah,
is
they
horrible.
canceled a couple.
Yeah.
Couple races for heat.
Yeah, a couple days for heat on the races.
Churchill
Mm-hmm.
Downs. Now that's
That's
a place that's
unusual.
haunted. You needed to go there.
I've been there.
We've been-
Well, I was there
Come on.
with that same cousin that I spoke of earlier, back in the 80s for a family reunion, because that's where my grandpa was from. And won enough money to upgrade our hotel room and everything.
Well, no, they do a haunted tour in October.
Yes, in October. And I found that out after. We stayed at this fantastic Airbnb, and that lady had researched it all for us. And she was given recommendations of where we should, try to get into and what tours and stuff. It ended up being too hot for me, and I didn't hardly leave the house. But I know, like June and everybody, they went to a couple of different cemeteries, and we did go to Bardstown for a
Oh,
bit.
you got to go to Bardstown. If
Oh,
you don't go to
absolutely, yeah.
Oh, and you got to go to 1792, the distillery, because they've got some amazing stuff there. And just seeing where the Rick House fell is probably strange in itself. But like I said, I can walk you through Bardstown probably without even looking at a map.
Cool deal.
So we love it there. I mean, there's only a few places in Kentucky that I don't like, but it's like you're in 3 different states and when you're in Kentucky.
Yes, exactly. Kind of like Southern Missouri.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're out there.
Oh yeah.
So, but thank you so much for coming on, and
Absolutely.
join us anytime. And
Okie
we're
doke.
gonna bring up our next guest.
Bye,
Great.
Wendy.
Bye.
Wendy.
Bye. Next victim.
Who's the next victim in line here?
April,
Hi.
Whoa.
Well, hello, April.
Oh no!
hey, Richie.
He's hiding over there.
I see.
Yeah.
He wasn't hiding very well.
Bring him on.
No,
No, he wasn't.
he's busy.
But yeah,
Busy doing what? He was behind you. What
he
is
was looking
doing?
down her shirt. That's all.
Oh,
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
were talking,
Hey, Richie,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Oh god.
so April, before the show, we were talking about Thurman, where
Okay.
Crystal used to live.
Okay.
They found out that apparently this guy was a serial killer living there.
Oh wow.
So we'll have to check out some more on that.
You don't appear too surprised.
That town was weird.
Oh, fair enough.
April, or Crystal said that multiple times about Thurman being weird. She hardly spent any time there at all. She spent most of her time in Council Bluffs.
Yeah, she wasn't there much.
No. So maybe Becca will remember the guy as a serial killer. She was there more. So, you don't know. So
Yeah, no idea. Yeah.
So for those of you listening, April's my cousin. She's a mother of seven boys. I think she's working for sainthood because no way there ain't no way I could do that. So now, and she may be an empath from some of the stuff she said, and so I'm going to let April tell us her story and see what you guys think.
It's funny that you said that because I actually had a spirit tell me I was an empath once. Don't exactly know what that means, but
it means that you feel other people's or spirits' feelings.
Right.
yeah, that pretty much describes. I definitely feel more than I see or like physical interactions, but I have had some physical interactions as well. But more often than not, I will sense a presence or a feeling, and not just of spirits, of people too, people I'm around. So
You just scared half our guests away. You said 7 boys, and they're all scared.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Well, you know what? If I'd said 7 girls,
Oh
everybody
my gosh.
would have been pitying you.
I would have had to lay down. I'd have had to take a nap.
Oh
Well,
man.
have 7 girls, guess what? Their cycles will all line up.
I
God.
know.
Yeah, the guy would never have a chance in the house.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why the guy was a serial killer.
Maybe that's because he did have 2 daughters that we know of.
Uh,
That we know of, right?
Yeah,
Right.
my mom said, yeah, I had 3 boys. And she said, man, when I see some of the stuff going around, she goes, thank God I had 3 boys and not 3 girls.
And
She goes, I don't know how I could have done it.
oh, she sees the 6 granddaughters and she's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, you know,
Like, how did you do that?
we did it.
Kotex poor.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, like I said, everything syncs up.
Yeah, I got the story sitting down there.
Well, we'll let April tell us her story and then when
We'll
we're
bring
done
it up.
with that.
Maybe you recognize the guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
oh no. Well, I actually have a lot of stories, and I had told Denise I wasn't sure which one to tell because I've had so many different paranormal experiences in my life, but I thought I'd probably tell you the ones that I think is the scariest.
Please.
Which may not be the same for other people, but it was one of my first encounters with what I believe was a demonic entity. And I've shared it before, so anybody who's been around me may know, because it's kind of like what led me to question a lot about the paranormal. But I was 13 years old, and my dad was a minister, and we lived in the parsonage next to the church. And I slept in the basement. It was a finished basement, and it was a really large room. And next to my bedroom was a bathroom, and the door was there next to the head of my bed that went into the bathroom. Well, one night when I was sleeping, I woke up, and I didn't have a clock, and I still to this day have no idea what time it was, so I couldn't tell you the time. But it was dark out, and I heard the door to the bathroom slam as hard as it could into the wall. And I froze with fear. Like I couldn't move, I couldn't speak, I couldn't breathe. And I heard this growling sound and a very deep guttural breath. It was just like, kind of reminds me of like Star Wars and Darth Vader, but it was very deep, heavy breathing. And then I heard footsteps, and the footsteps were so loud that it sounded like it had to be like hundreds of pounds, whatever this thing was. And it walked over to my bed and proceeded to push the blankets down over my face and strangle me.
Damn.
To the point that I thought I was going to die. But there was just like something in my mind as a child that said this is an evil entity. And so I started praying in my head, but I couldn't speak and I couldn't breathe. And eventually I yelled out, "Go away in the name of Jesus Christ." And it vanished. And I was able to sit up in my bed. It scared the crap out of me. Like, still to this day, even thinking about it, it is the creepiest thing. Nothing like that's ever happened again, thankfully.
Question.
But I didn't want to. Go ahead.
Well, my question would be, was this before or after you met me? Because by the time that's around the time that you met me.
Yeah, it was.
And
good question.
Yeah. So
it's possible it could have been after, because I believe this was
in July, the year before, while your mom, right after your mom found out she was pregnant with Becca.
So it was after I met you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you ever tell your dad or your mom about the story?
I did.
What'd
Yes.
your dad say?
My dad said that not everything was demonic and I probably just had a bad dream. Honestly, I'm not sure, because I recently learned that another person who stayed in that same house had a similar experience where they were suffocated in their sleep. So I'm not really sure, but I know that I was terrified, and I had my sister sleep with me, and they literally had to put a bed in my room next to my bed because I refused to sleep in my room anymore by myself. And I woke up one night, and one night I saw a male entity that looked to be wearing what I describe as like bell bottoms. So it kind of looked like 70s attire, and it had a bluish tint glow to it, and it was just standing there at the end of my bed. And for whatever reason, I felt like this entity was protecting me. So as a child and in my beliefs, I believed that was an angel at the time.
Well, like I always tell people, how did it make you feel? I know you probably remember me asking you that in the past. When you saw this, how did it make you feel? So in both these cases, you had that you felt.
She's cold.
I'm freezing.
I'm in a t-shirt. So.
But yeah, I mean, just we know instinctively if something's good or bad, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and when you guys heard me say, was this before or after she met me? April's father did not know that I was his niece until a month before I met April. He always thought I was his cousin, but he found out in July or in June of that year that I was his niece, that he was my dad's brother. So it's a long, long, long story. So April and I share a grandmother.
Yes. And I always wondered if my dad had abilities as well, because several of my kids do.
He might have.
But I don't know.
You know what? It could just be intuitive to you, and it could be on your, we don't know where it came from until we all have our blood tested to figure out who we really are.
Yeah.
I mean, I know who I am. I mean, there ain't no fake in this shit.
Yeah, and for those of you out there, if you ever are in a situation where you are attacked, like that, and like she said, sometimes you can't speak or anything, but in your mind, you can say the Lord's Prayer.
You can
Yeah,
say,
that'll take care of it.
or whatever prayer you'd use
The
for
Lord's
your,
Prayer.
your
That'll get rid of it.
religion.
It'll go. It ain't gonna mess with it.
Yeah, but if you're not Christian, you may not know the Lord's Prayer. You have to say the one that's going to go with your religion.
No, you're screwed then.
Well, you're not going to get up and light sage if you can't move. So
Yep.
I understand that. So
Nope.
and
Yep.
and like Athena says, praise the Lord that you were able to do something for yourself, save yourself from that situation. So do you know if any of your siblings had any experiences in that same room?
None that they shared with me, but I don't know that they would have shared with me.
Okay.
Josh and Rebecca, I don't even think Rebecca was born yet. Joshua would have been too little if he had been born, but Crystal doesn't share a whole lot. She claims that she doesn't have, paranormal experiences. So the person who told me they experienced something in that house was Amy, which is Uncle Brian's wife. I don't know if you know Uncle Brian.
Friends with him on Instagram and Facebook, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so his wife, they had come to visit, and she's also a strong Christian woman, and she said that she had been strangled or felt like she was being strangled in her sleep, and it scared her so much that she tried to crawl out of the window of the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was extremely terrifying. Whatever, because I've experienced a lot of entities, like whatever this entity was extremely powerful, enough to slam doors. I mean, it was very, very strong, whatever it was.
Oh, well, I like you said, you don't know what other people have experienced. It may not be nothing to them, but I believe it's something. You had something happen that marked your memory for the rest of your life.
Oh yes,
you
definitely
probably will never forget that. So
no, I will never ever forget that. Most of the other things I've had have not been near as scary as that. Just kind of interesting. Like Richie over here, he said I should tell you about the little boy. I think that's probably the most memorable paranormal story he has. When we lived on base in Virginia Beach, multiple people in our house saw the same little boy. Multiple people had an experience with this little kid. And for him, what was it? You were standing. He got up, got ready for work, walked out of the room in the hallway, and saw a little boy standing by the trash can. Far into the hall, and he one of our boys. Yeah. I'm like, hey, go back to bed, and then just gone. I'm like, disappeared. Nope. Fuck that. I'm back in my room. Said I'll wait 2 minutes.
We went back to bed.
Yep. And for me, I was sitting in my recliner, and everybody was gone. The only people there were the kids, and they were super little at the time, like 2 and 3 years old, and they were taking a nap. And I saw the little boy run across the doorway in front of the living room, and I said, "Hey, go back to sleep." No response. So of course, as a mom, I get up and I'm going to follow them and see, who's up, what are they doing? And nobody there. I walk to the room and all the kids are asleep. And then later, our nurse for Elijah was working, and she's like hauling tail running down the hallway, and she jets into Elijah's room. So I follow her and I'm like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "A little boy just ran in here and he went under the bed." Of course, there's nobody there.
Well, when you have this many kids running through the house, what are the odds that it's not a real kid?
Right.
So, and you guys lived in Virginia Beach quite a while, and that part of Virginia Beach is, from what I understand, has got a lot of hauntings.
Yeah. Well, that house
speaking.
was active. I saw a Confederate soldier on a horse. I saw demon dogs. I saw
In the house?
Wow. All sorts of entities. Like I still to this day think there was like a portal in our house.
Sounds like it.
There's
Well,
so much activity.
Considering how many regiments of military went through there, how many ships came in from other ports to drop off people during different wars, the fact that they build ships there, how many people got killed in the shipyards. You guys have got a huge history there between Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Newport News, and add in Hampton. You got the Merrimack and the Monitor both sinking out there.
Aardvark.
Yeah, yeah, they're also an aardvark. Yeah, they got aardvarks.
They do. They have aardvarks.
And it's not really that far from Williamsburg and the lost city of Roanoke.
Yep, I went to Williamsburg. I also went to the other house. There was a house that was famously known to be haunted in Virginia Beach. I can't think of what it's called.
Is it the Plantation?
It was where they had done witch trials at.
I think it's.
I can't remember.
I'm not.
She's looking for one of her books.
You're gonna look it up.
No, I'm not gonna look it up.
Oh,
Penicillin? No. What is it?
Does it look like that?
Well, maybe. Can't quite see. It's tiny on my phone. So.
That's what she said.
Rex, your cat have a story to share?
Yeah, I hear the cat going.
I know. I hear the cat too.
He's Dad's cat, and he's in here. He loves it when I'm in here doing a show and the co-host chair is empty.
Yeah,
he thinks I've got to keep paying attention to him. Well, if you've seen him, he's reached
Oh,
up
yeah.
and, hey, what are you doing?
uh-huh.
Well, the other thing for me too, Denise, is that I dream. So I'm also a dreamer. I have lots of dreams too. So.
And dream interpretation is something that's very interesting, but very hard because some symbols mean something different to everybody.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And how you interpret it is going to be different than how I interpret it. And well, you already know that. But even if you talk to somebody who is a dream interpreter themselves, they're going to go, this is what it means. And they're going to be really right there on it going, car means you're going to travel or you're going to be changing something. And it's like, that's not how I see it. It doesn't mean that to me.
Yeah.
I've got like 6 books on dream interpretation, and my mom had books on it back in the 70s, by Carl Jung. And he basically says in his book that it's all an interpretation.
Speculation.
Yeah.
So the one dream I had, that the ones that I pay the most attention to are very detailed and specific, and details. So the one that stands out the most to me was I think I was in high school, and I dreamed. Oh, sorry, reading the comments too, but I dreamed about a car accident. It was dark outside. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. It was 13 miles. This is very specific. 13 miles out of town. A girl had died in the car accident. It was associated with the high school that I was attending, and I knew who it was. And I mean, that's how specific the details in my dream were.
Wow.
And it bothered me so much that I wrote it down. I told the principal of the school about it. I told, mom and dad, and I mean, it totally freaked me out. And I really 100% believe that it was real.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
6 months later, my best friend's sister was killed in a car accident exactly 13 miles out of town at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Well, I always tell you.
Nuts.
Yeah.
I always tell you to write it down. If you can remember, write it down, keep a dream journal. And it's the only way you're going to have that.
That may have been that may have been something that, never, you couldn't change anyway,
No,
Yeah.
You foresaw what was going to happen. So,
more to help the person deal with the loss.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
like I said, we have funny stories.
I
We have
got one.
interesting
I got
stories.
one.
We have
I don't-
sad stories.
April might like this one since her dad was a preacher.
Yeah.
When I was about 9 or 10, we went to and my brothers and family went huge Lutheran church. I mean, we had hundreds of people there. It kept getting bigger all the time.
Yeah.
So we have to go, we'd go to Sunday school, which I like because I got to, hang out with a bunch of people I went to school with. And, when we'd learn stuff. Then we had to stick around for church. Well, church wasn't that exciting for us, think back when you're 9 or 10,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, that particular day, my mom said we didn't really want to stay. It was pretty nice out. We wanted to get out and play. Well, mom and dad said, we got to stick around for church. We're like, oh, we don't want to. Why do we got to do that? Well, you got to learn about God. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, hour and a half, 2 hours later, church service is finally over. At the end of the service, all of a sudden we heard a big commotion in the back of the church. I mean, everybody's just like piled up, gathering around. They're like, everybody's, whoa, what is that? So we kind of stand in line and everybody's kind of whispering. It's like, did you see that? Did you see that? And we finally get up there. And what it was these two women I thought was weird. Okay. They had went to a funeral of somebody close to them. I don't remember who it was, but anyway, they brought their camera to take pictures of the corpse in the casket. Now, at the time, I thought that is very strange. Why would you do that? But I guess back then, I guess even now, people still do it. I don't know.
And it was a Polaroid camera.
It was a Polaroid camera. There were no digital cameras back then, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, what had happened, they took all their pictures, right? Well, after they developed in that, they put them all together. And I guess somebody at the church wanted to see the pictures.
Yeah.
They hadn't really actually looked at the pictures that close. They just kind of got them. But anyway, what happened on one particular picture, the one woman said, I had the camera strap around my neck. The other woman says, you're not taking good pictures. Let me take some pictures.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, okay. So when she went, she took the strap off her neck and went to put it around the other woman's neck. She goes, I don't need the strap. She grabbed the camera. It dropped. The camera slipped out of her hand. It dropped. It hit the floor. It took a picture at an angle above the casket, from the ground up above the casket.
Yeah.
It just snapped a picture, by accident. I'm telling you guys, that picture freaked the hell out of me. It's a picture of Jesus with his hands out. I mean, it's clear as all get out. It wasn't that kind of looks, no, it was Jesus with his arms out.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, that's why we go to church.
So he can stand above you when you die. Come on.
Oh my gosh. I tell you what, I tell you what, that shook a lot of people up in there. That church. I mean, it was total accident that happened.
They had an increase in attendance after that.
Oh, man.
I'll bet.
That scared, man, me and my brothers were like, wow, are we really looking at that? I mean, it was, man, it was
probably
awesome.
had to go rent the swimming pool to do the baptism.
Oh, man.
They probably just took them to the Mississippi.
There you go.
That was a good picture.
But
Well, you know what? This has been a great show tonight.
Oh, do you want to share
So
the?
you want to share this thing?
Yes,
now?
I'm
You
going to
can
bring
stay
this.
if you want, or you can go. But I'd like to thank
Oh.
you for coming.
Yeah,
on.
thank you. Yeah. Yep.
And
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
I'm around. You won't.
know.
You won't get rid of me that quick.
oh, I know. Thank you for listening to all the shows. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
I'll see
Yeah,
you guys later.
yep.
Bye,
Okay.
Sarah. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, this story has been out since yesterday, and I will bring it up here.
Oh, look at that guy. He looks like a serial killer.
Yeah, he died back in. Let's see. Let's go down here. He died in. Let's see.
In doo-doo. He died.
Yeah.
They think this guy killed up to 70.
Yeah. In 2013, he died.
Wow.
What it says here is, okay, this has been in the FBI's hands for a year. And the FBI stopped investigating it 2 weeks ago. The sheriff's department picked it up again. Now the FBI is wanting in it again. But
why did they not find anything? They dropped it for a bit because they weren't finding anything?
Don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, you can find it. All you got to do is go to Google and type in Iowa serial killer. And this story popped up. This was October 27th, today at 4 o'clock.
If he had voted for Trump, the freaking bumbling idiots will be going
right. Well, I'm going to play.
I'm
going to play this short video right here, real quick.
Yep.
Listen.
Meanwhile, authorities in Iowa investigating a woman's claim that her late father was one of America's most prolific serial killers. She claims Donald Studi murdered 5 or 6 women a year and buried them on his property, saying this went on for decades. Whoa. Garrett Tenney on the veracity of this or not in Chicago. Good morning.
Bill, good morning to you. Donald Studi's daughter, Lucy, says there could be as many as 70 bodies buried on the property that she grew up on, and claims her father forced her and her siblings to help bury the bodies in and around a well on their 5-acre property. She told Newsweek, "I know where the bodies are buried. He would just tell us we had to go to the well, and I knew what that meant. Every time I went to the well or into the hills, I didn't think I was coming down. I thought he would kill me because I wouldn't keep my mouth shut." Studi told the outlet her father, who died in 2013, found most of his victims, mostly young women who were hookers or runaways, in nearby Omaha, about 40 miles away. She claims that over the years, she was ignored or brushed aside when she tried telling teachers, priests, and police about it, until just recently, when investigators took cadaver dogs to the location Studi identified and had multiple hits, indicating a very large burial site, according to the sheriff, who told Newsweek, "It's hard for me to believe that 2 dogs would hit in the exact same places and be false. We don't know what it is. The settlers were up there. There was Indian country up there as well, but I tend to believe Lucy." The FBI and state police are now taking part in this investigation as well. Next steps could mean additional searches to find out if these claims of an unknown till now serial killer are true.
Wow.
Bill.
If so, you got a story, Garrett. Thanks. In Chicago, we'll see how this pans out.
Yeah, that story is all over the place.
Yeah, I just wonder why they stopped investigating
haven't they
it.
started digging them up yet?
Well, they're right now that property is between 2 different owners now. So they finally got permission from the owners to go in there with the cadaver dogs. Now they're getting permission to go in and dig up. How would you like to be the owner of a land and find out you got 70 bodies buried on your land?
That would suck.
The thing is how old is, my questions would be, how old is this woman now?
53.
Okay, so she sat quiet for 10 years after her dad died.
So she was 43. Yeah. She was old now.
Yeah, she was old enough to speak up when he died.
That's right. Like a 6-year-old kid.
Yeah, so at least the last 10 years, she could have spoke up. She could have spoke up while her dad was sick and dying, because most likely he was sick and dying.
Right.
So why didn't she? So I understand abuse. I understand fear. But when they're dead, what fear do you have?
But yet you got another daughter
who's
saying no, it didn't happen.
But again, she
Really?
is that daughter older than her or younger than her?
I take it they're right in the same age, right there, a couple years apart.
Wow.
Yeah, because I know that. Yeah, I see here on Fox News that Iowa serial killer fears woman behind murders gave police conflicting stories. So
I mean, it's quite the story that's coming out. I mean, it's all over YouTube, and then Josh Hurd and them do the Ectoplasmic show. That was their entire show tonight. Was on that.
Well, I mean, why not? It's just
it's in their backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's at, it's
Down the
maybe.
street.
Yeah, that's one of the ways that you can go to get to his house. In Tabor is to go take that exit or take the next exit.
Yeah, he is literally up the street.
Yeah. So,
but if you went on down further, let me read something here down further about him. Okay. Let me see. I'm going down through here. But anyway, he was in trouble with the law quite a bit. Yeah, and the father was described, McKitty was described how her father had killed dozens of young women over 30 years. And then the police go down to talk about documents of how he was threatening family members at one time.
Wow.
I'm trying to find that in here where it says.
Excuse me?
What?
Oh, yeah. The study, he had a history of violence, run-ins with the law, including threatening to kill relatives, according to different incident reports obtained by the registry. But Susan Studi denied her sister's claim. So this is going to be a story that is, you wait until, like they said about the sheriff's department on YouTube was talking about it. The dogs hit on an area around where they believe the old well is at. The well is 100 foot deep, they say, and it's the dogs hit out like there's graves out around.
And those dogs are really good at that.
They are. But as they'll tell you, they can't always rely on the dog.
Right.
More than one dog hits on the same spot.
Yep.
That kind of leans to me. And them dogs are trained to find humans, not animals. They find human bones, not animal bones. They're trained that way. There's a difference. And I mean, this story is going to be so much more going on here. You're going to hear about in the next 2 weeks. But it's awful funny that this type of story is coming out in the haunting season in October when it was reported a year ago.
Yeah.
You watch.
That's odd.
This is a making of a movie.
Money.
Exactly. What better time to promote something before a movie is made? Right during the hunting season. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, but he looked, he looked like
We're talking about the serial murder up there in Thurman, Iowa. What's close to Josh.
Yeah, it's like if you go to Tabor, you either take that exit or the next exit to get there. Or you can go from Malvern and go the other way. But
right.
But the last time we were up there, the Thurman exit, you couldn't go off because it was underwater. And I don't think the water ever left. I think it got stuck there and never went. So,
They got big.
Yeah, Shonda, all you got to do is Google it. The Thurman, Iowa serial killer, and it comes right up all over the place.
all I put in was Iowa serial killer, and it came up with dad or daughter. And you got everything you need right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a breaking story, but it's a weird.
Well, it's because, it's kind of like the Villisca Axe murders. It's a small town, very small town. And, on the river, you think about this and go, oh my God, this is a town smaller than the one I live in. And how could this happen? And how did people not know?
Well, that's what the sheriff said. It's been a rumor for years that he did this. Well, if it's been a rumor, why didn't the sheriff's department check into it?
Yeah, I mean, how many people were reported missing? How many girls were?
That's it right there. When you're picking up prostitutes and
people with
nobody reports them.
Right. And the ones that do, they go, well, it was a prostitute or it was a drug dealer or it was
a transient. They just moved on.
Right. And then the other thing is you kind of can't do anything until you have something concrete anyway. You can't be just sitting there going, well, John, I know that you're a bad guy. I know you're doing this stuff. I'm just waiting. I mean, it kind of reminds you of Supernatural where they kept trying to get Bobby and they couldn't because they never had any real proof.
You look at when this comes out and they do find all them bodies dug up, those properties right there are going to be the new hot spot for paranormal investigation.
Oh, yeah.
They will be begging them families, paying them thousands of dollars.
It's right in Iowa's haunted corridor.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about Iowa's haunted corridor. That's that area there going to,
But like Josh and them was talking about, if they do find the 70 bodies that he murdered, he will become the #1 serial killer in the United States.
Well, you know what, though? What's bad is they may not find all the bodies after this amount of time. Dogs are almost digging them up.
Well, that's what, like Josh said, this well is covered in. They're going to have to dig that well out and then have archaeologists in there to dig out bones and whatever else they can find. Oh man, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, they're going to need those forensics experts from the FBI, because I doubt they have any. I mean, they'll probably pull up people from Kansas City because we have a huge forensics lab here in Kansas City. But
I'm sure they got one in Omaha too.
Well, the regional ones in Kansas City. I wanted to get a job there.
Oh.
Because I researched that was something that I wanted to work their data. That tells you how serious I am about data.
Right.
Because all of this, no matter how you look at it, it's all data.
Yep.
Cataloging it is the disgusting part, but checking out the data is a whole different thing. But
you're right, Phoenix. That's probably why the other sister, she's wanting to clear her dad's name. But
you know what? She may want to do that, but until they find a bone or anything to put along with this, so far it's just hearsay.
No.
You may be the smart one out of the bunch going, no, I'm denying it, because if they do start finding them and we help them bury them, we're going to be charged.
Yeah.
You may be the smart one out of the bunch.
Did the one woman say that her sister helped bury him too?
All the kids.
Yep.
All the kids. How many kids they have? How many kids were it?
One report says that he was a single parent because here's the kicker now. He was married twice.
Nobody knows where the wives are.
No, they both committed suicide.
Or so they say.
Exactly.
Yep. Was it assisted suicide or was it murder?
Okay, their brother, the two girls reporting, their brother, when he was 38 years old, just about before dad died, right? He committed suicide.
Well, he could have committed suicide for real because he
Or did Dad help him?
I don't know. It depends on how sick Dad was when he died.
I don't know.
Besides
But I mean, you look at all the stuff leaning up to it and everything. You got 2 wives that died supposedly of suicide.
Yep.
You know, now I want to research this family.
And then he supposedly killed them in
know.
the house.
I don't know.
He killed them in the house and then would have the kids take them up by the well to bury them.
This guy was crazy. Hopefully the daughter's just crazy and imagined it. That's what we can hope for the best.
We can, but why would them dogs hit so many times?
Like I said, it could be, it was Native American land.
It could be Indians buried out there, but
like I said, until we know for sure, it's all hearsay.
Well, the way they talk, the first of next week, the FBI, the Iowa Highway Patrol, and the Sheriff's Department's all supposed to meet and figure out how they're going to go further with this investigation.
Well, they're probably going to have to go get a LiDAR to see where the dig, not just where the dogs show, because that could just be a piece of clothing or something that was from these dead bodies.
And then they got to get the people all lined up that own the properties for the backhoes and stuff to come in.
Yep.
And start digging. And when that starts, them people that own them properties are going to go crazy because out in front's going to be every TV band you can imagine.
Yep.
And guess what? It's not that long from really shitty weather up there.
Exactly.
And if we really want to screw it up, Ron and I go across the state line and it snows.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Hey, if they start to dig, that's what you 2 do. You need to take a trip and go to Iowa and go across the line and turn around and come back.
Oh, man, I just thought of something. Geraldo Rivera is going to be there. Oh,
yep.
There goes the neighborhood.
April, it's not related to us. It's just Crystal and Becca used to live in Thurman. That's the only relation it is to you.
Yep.
Yep.
How long ago did they live up there?
Remember when you met Crystal? That
First time we went up.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, to Malvern.
Her and Becca both lived there at that time. So, and Becca's their youngest sister. Huh?
Did they live in a house up there?
No, they lived in a trailer that had had dirt floors. The
Was
floors
it
were
out-
even in
was
on
it-
the.
Was it with a little acreage?
I don't know. It was just
What-
they were renting a
Because
trailer.
from what I
one of-
remember hearing from that sheriff,
small town,
he killed him in his trailer.
Well, when I get more information, I'll send it to Crystal and find out.
Find out. This is something you need to really investigate because this is the beginning of a story.
Oh.
Oh.
And they also need to probably check out who's ever owned the property. Even before this, just to make sure that there wasn't something buried there prior. Yeah, we're not solving it tonight.
Yep.
But there is another story here in Kansas City that's really interesting. And this was one that may interest Brandon. They have decided they were going to bring in the LiDAR at the Shawnee Indian Mission.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to let them dig.
Well, they're selling it.
Well, the Shawnee Indians are protesting.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, they're protesting it because they don't want the bodies disturbed if they are there. But the LiDAR is not going to disturb anything.
Oh, they probably, who do they know that?
Do they know what? That the LiDAR is not going to disturb anything? It just rolls across the grass like a lawnmower?
But do they know that if something is discovered, do they have peace of mind that, okay, they're not going to dig?
Nope. They're trying to talk them into it now, but the last story today was that they're not going to let them dig.
They need to just leave it well enough alone.
Right.
The only way that they're going to be able to dig is in the people whose yards that there may be bodies in now. But in that area in Fairway, there were very small yards, and so much of them have been flooded out over the years from the creeks running over. So if they do anything, like I said, it would have to be on private property. And then some of those people, let's go with, they probably won't let them dig anyway because of the Native Americans saying, hey, don't.
Well, that and I don't want somebody digging up my front yard.
No, well, I don't have a choice. They've dug up my backyard.
No.
It looks like shit out there.
That's because you got hookers and brought them in.
Yeah. No, we got new sewer lines.
Oh.
So we can all now go outside and.
So did Carol Baskins.
Yeah, but the city did ours.
Oh,
I didn't do it myself.
Okay, all right, never mind.
At least I knew what you were talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to.
He doesn't, but I do.
I had to bring it in there.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it from Ghost Adventures.
yeah, that's where I heard the name.
Oh, Carol Baskins from.
Oh, Carol
Tiger King.
Baskins.
Tiger King.
Yeah, Ron remembers it from Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, that's a crazy story.
Yeah, that's a COVID story.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nobody would have even known about that show, I don't think, if it hadn't been for everybody sitting at home going, we don't have nothing better to do. Let's watch Netflix.
Yeah.
And watch that show and go, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then and I mean, at first I'm saying, this is a drama reality show is all it is.
It was a train wreck, from what I heard. I never saw it.
Oh,
you didn't?
Yeah.
No.
Oh
You
my
didn't?
God.
Tiger King?
No.
Oh God. You want a good laugh? With this guy, you talking about somebody that knows how to market
Oh yeah.
and everything.
Dude was a genius. Yep.
Oh,
He's
he
now
was
marketing.
Oh, he was something else. And I have a throne sitting out in the pen.
Yep.
With tigers sitting beside him with his crown and everything on, his long golden blocks and all this shit, and just as funny as can be.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't my thing.
Emily said, "Oh, you got to watch Tiger King." I watched the first episode and went, "Oh my God,
I can't get that hour back.
I can't get that out of my mind."
Well, the thing is people don't watch Netflix
Yep.
for an hour.
Yep.
They watch Netflix. If they see a series on there, they're watching 6 shows in less than 4 hours and sending me a message and going, "Did you see it yet?" And I'm like, "No, I'm in Kansas City. I'm in St. Louis."
I don't send that. We watch a lot of Netflix.
No,
but-
that was not you.
no, I don't. But
He knows who he is.
yeah,
Mr.
Oh,
Innocent down
boy.
there.
But this has been a fantastic show.
Well, I have an idea for another special show later on, and
Okay.
we'll talk about it and see what everybody thinks and see if you guys want to do that again.
Well, I do want to point out that Rex finally put on the correct style of hat. I noticed.
It's a little
That's
bit
right.
chillier today,
You're right.
so
But
I don't know
no,
why.
we've had a great bunch of people watching and listening tonight. We really
Yep.
have.
look at what April said. This
say
goes
she-
along with her other one. She says, "I slowly tell people that my cousin's a paranormal investigator," and she goes, "just to test the waters to see if they're listening to my stories and what I see and feel." Ha ha. And she goes, "Then I say my cousin was on Ghost Adventures, so she's legit."
Yep.
That's right.
I don't know if that makes her legit or not.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Am I legit? I don't know. I'm just honest, and that's all I can be.
you are honest.
Yep. Yep.
And sometimes too honest. But again, Brandon's heard me burp. So is Carl. So
Oh yeah.
they know
Oh,
I'm honest.
Me too.
Yep.
Well, he claims that it was him burping, but we all know it was me.
So, but anyway, we want to thank everybody for watching it and tuning in tonight.
Yep.
Thank you, Athena.
Next Thursday night, Now, are we continuing this, or are we stopping it for the holiday season, or what are we doing here, Denise?
This guy got a new show.
Well, we're waiting for an announcement from somebody to tell us about his new show.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah,
that's
tell
you,
us
buddy.
about your
Come
new
here.
show.
That's you,
Pimp
buddy.
yourself out.
I become another person when I put this hat on.
That's right. That's right. I'm telling you, it's the hat.
Looks good on you.
It does.
Well, thank you.
It matches your shirt too.
It makes you look shorter.
My chair all of a sudden just went to the floor. I was sitting here going, "What the hell?" Oh my God! That was
Oh, look at that body like a Greek god.
That's right.
That's just what I'm talking about. Yes. Oh, which way's the beach?
That's right.
Oh no, you meant bitch.
Hey,
Oh, hey.
well, before he tells you what his show's going to be about, Brandon, the video you sent me, you got permission for your show on?
Yes, I have permission.
You know how big that man is?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You want?
He's bigger than Rex.
Well, that dude's huge. Yeah,
That
that
is.
guy. But yeah, so we can use the video or audio, whatever we want.
So you reached out to him?
I'll talk to his management.
Oh, okay.
Agency. Yep.
That's even better.
Tell everybody right now whose video and song you're going to play on your show.
Okay, so I don't know if whoever watched America's Got Talent, but Puddles Pity Party, the big clown that could sing really, really good. So I reached out to his management team. He does a cover of War Pigs.
Oh,
and it's freaking amazing.
It
and
is.
I got permission to licensing permission so I can use Puddles that song on the podcast.
wow.
And they were really cool. They didn't charge me a dime. I guess they went and saw my podcast and felt sorry for me.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
we got
he
him on
works.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's bigger than
You're
you
married.
are, Rex.
He works.
There are not many people that can do that, but
And he's in a clown suit.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
Look
I've
him
seen
up.
him do videos. I laugh my ass off.
look him up.
Does he
Like-
sing, play guitar, or what?
He sings like
Sing.
amazing.
He
But
plays
his whole
guitar, piano.
Oh, okay.
He comes out with a suitcase with a
yeah.
sad face on and sets it down, and it says Piddles. How's
Yeah,
it say?
thank you, Athena.
Puddles Pity
Puddles
Party.
Pity Party. And that's
Yeah,
what
he's
he
got a
goes
whole
by.
he's got a whole shtick with it. But then when he starts
Yeah.
singing, it's like,
Yeah,
oh my
the
god,
voice,
this dude
he's
can
got
sing.
an operatic voice
Yeah.
that comes out.
But yeah, look it up on YouTube and listen to his version of War Pigs, and I think that's what I'm going to be starting the show on.
Yeah,
That'll wake you up.
I
Yep.
got it. So anyway, Rex, back to now your show.
Back to you, Adonis.
Hey, piss on Rex. I was watching the show on your network the other day, and
What just happened?
they had this guy named Gherkin on there. I want Gherkin
Well,
to have a
you know,
show.
I see that they're
That's who
mentioning
I
it.
want.
Now you're going to make him mad or upset. Now I've got to deal with it. Stop it. They can
Did you
hear
see that show, Rex? Did you see Gherkin on there?
I did.
It was awesome.
And I bet you threw out every pickle you had in the house too, didn't you?
Well, it was difficult. I actually buried him in the backyard and had a ceremony. It was tough. It was tough, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
I'm surprised you didn't glue your eyes shut, since you're always gluing your fingers together.
That's true.
Yeah.
And folks, if you didn't see that, you have to go to the Billerites Network on YouTube to watch the video, because that's the night Facebook quit live.
Mhm.
You know what?
You
We
might
can
not
load it.
want to. You might not want to watch it sober. I don't know.
Yeah, and every time we giggle, you have to take a drink.
Oh.
Oh, there's going to be alcohol poisoning.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, Rex, I hear you got a show coming out.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much, there, Brandon.
Yeah, buddy.
Next Thursday, from 6 to 7:30, I've got a new show coming on, and I'm ecstatic about it because I've always wanted to have a show, and for all out paranormal. And so next Thursday, 6 Central till 7:30, I will be on, and the show is called Discover the Paranormal with All Out Paranormal. My first guest, I'm just floored. I can't wait. It's Aaron G. Thompson.
Woo! Yep.
I've been good friends with him for a long time. I love that guy.
He's
and
great.
I can't wait to have him on.
He's actually making me. He's making me one of his rings that he makes.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Dude,
And
I'm tuning in. That's gonna be an awesome show.
Hey,
Thank
did you
you.
see?
It's gonna be fun.
Did you see on the Haunted 28 Days there the other night where they was using the piece of equipment that they cranked up and it's got a wheel on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just got one.
Rex got one.
Did you really?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I did.
Is that
Yep.
what? Is that something Nick came up with or invented?
No.
Where'd that come?
It's
Where'd
called
You
the
can buy it
Wimber.
on Amazon.
Oh
Yeah, I got it off of
Who made
Amazon
those?
for less than $90.
Yeah.
who made them or who came up with it?
It's
It's
called the Wimhurst.
Blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
There's
it's not actually a paranormal
right.
equipment,
No,
but
it
they
wasn't.
found
That's
out
not
it
what it was
works.
intended for.
Yeah, kind of like an EM pump.
Yeah, similar, very similar.
Yeah, yeah. We've watched first 2 episodes. We got 4 left.
Yeah, I think I've got 2 left.
Well, have you guys seen what old Jeremy Leonard puts on his head? I haven't got that far yet.
Haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah, that's ours.
Yeah,
That's ours.
Yeah, I know.
That would be.
So that's about all I got. Rex, what else you got, buddy?
What else have I got? You're going to be on James and my show Saturday night again.
Oh yeah, we're talking. What are we talking?
We're going to do music. We're going to knock that out of the park.
I like it.
So
I like it.
Our show is music, movies, and maybe more. We've had the honor and the privilege of having Brandon 2 weeks in a row now. I'm gonna be in a different location, but I'm gonna be there remotely.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I love music. I've been a drummer for 20 years, so I love music.
I used to until the neuropathy and stuff. I can't.
As a drummer.
Oh, nice. Ron, what do you have coming up?
I don't know. We're trying to figure out what we're doing this weekend.
Y'all gonna come see me in March?
Like to.
That'd be great. You
We
see what I'm trying?
Maybe on a cruise ship.
No, well, there you go.
Well, it depends on, it's my cousins, aunts, and uncles, a bunch of us.
Yeah.
But it depends on her health.
But yeah, I'll send that.
I don't want to book it yet.
Talk to you
So,
later.
Yeah, her health depends on a lot.
Yeah.
well, she seems to be
She seems
pretty good. They changed her medicine.
Bunky.
Changed her medication and haven't had any issues since Sunday night anyway.
Good.
Oh, not the kid. It was work.
Was it?
It was work. Yep.
Who in the hell's calling me?
Why's work calling you this late at night?
Because people work from home and they don't work normal hours, and they decide to call me when they see that I'm online.
They're in Hawaii.
No, they're in Minnesota.
And
We're talking about what we got coming up, Denise. What do you have?
What do we got
up?
coming up? Let's see.
Who you got?
I got. Who do I have Monday night? I didn't bring
Monday
the
night is
Monday night is Reverend Mike Norton.
Oh yeah, Mike Norton.
He does spiritual warfare.
Yep.
He used to be on the show with me, Ken Farah, Deb Johnson, Karen Smurl, and so he knows a lot.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will be interesting.
He's got a lot of good stuff.
This is the first time in all I've been doing shows that I could actually get him on because he happens to be in Florida instead of California.
Right.
He and he's got a book. I'll make sure I have it out. It's down here in the dark, and he is a really good guy, and I love talking to him.
April's talked to him?
Yeah, she probably did.
Really?
I think I gave her some information about him. So, but yeah, he's
Very
fun.
possible.
And then our guest on
okay.
the first is, I think it's this Tanya Lumani.
Oh, okay.
She played on Star Trek and some other things, and she is she survived communism in Russia, and she also lived in Iran for a bit. And she's going to be talking to us not about the political aspects of communism and living in Iran. She's going to talk about it from her personal standpoint, and so we're going to make sure that we stay we're non-political on the show.
Right.
And she's also going to tell us about some paranormal experiences that she's had.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good show. Really good.
As you see, I try to sort our guests out by show.
Yeah.
So
you're doing a great job at that.
So yeah, I mean, if you guys have somebody out there that you're wanting to try to get booked on a show network, if I know them, Brandon knows them, Rex knows them, we'll get them on one of the shows. We'll get them on. We'll get them booked.
Chewbacca.
And
we have Chewbacca.
Yep. And here, I do keep the show calendar up to date for everybody.
I love it. Oh, it doesn't talk, does it, Rex?
Yes, it does.
Then,
it does.
And I'm booked all for the month of November as well. And so is Brandon.
Yeah, I'm booked. Yep, booked up.
Oh, that's cool. You should have wore that all night tonight.
Yeah, do your show next week with it.
Actually, I hope you're answering the door with that on Halloween.
Oh, I've driven down the road with it on.
Well,
nice.
Well, since they really want people to wear masks when they're driving, that would probably be a perfect one.
That would suffice, yes.
I saw a lot of people wearing those kinds of masks during COVID.
I did, yeah.
Especially in the grocery store.
Good night, Athena.
So, yeah, join us next Monday night at 7 p.m. Central for Mike Norton and on the Paranormal Pride and on the Bill of Rights Network pages. And then join us on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central for Paranormal Radio Nation Not So Normal for our guest that night with Carl and Ron. And we're going to have a great time. And then check out Brandon's show and Rex's show. And you know what? And if you're feeling really crazy, check out any of the other shows on the network and really get some information out there.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
So, okay, we will see everybody later.
Where's my camera? There it is.
Have a good time. Night.
Night, everyone.
Goodbye.